Hi, everybody. I am Susie, and I am today here with Nicole Graber from the DisneyJourney.com. So she's a mom of two, and she blogs about all things Disney. So I can't wait to show you guys what she's done, how she's grown her blog, and how she has built it into a success. Even though it's not making 30, 40,000 per month, she is starting to monetize it, and I think that's awesome to kind of learn the beginning journey of small mom bloggers and how we get going. So Nicole, if you want to introduce yourself, we'd love to learn more about you.
Hi, like Susie said, my name is Nicole. I started blogging, ironically. The journey started with an absolutely dreadful trip to Disney World.
Oh,
Like, complete failure of a trip to Disney World.
what happened?
It was about 6 years ago now. My daughter she was about to turn 5, totally obsessed with all things princess.
Right.
And we had spent a couple weeks down in Florida for vacation and just decided, hey, we're going to spend a day at Magic Kingdom. That's it. We showed up at Magic Kingdom and proceeded to wait in line for hours and hours to see princesses all day.
So exhausting.
It was. And we didn't realize at the time that, the Disney of our youth was you literally just showed up and you went and you had a great time. And it was not like that anymore. You needed to plan ahead. So that scarred us a little bit. And we were like, oh, I don't know if we're going to do this Disney thing again.
Yeah.
But we did. I think it was about maybe 3 years later. Friends of ours also wanted to go. Their kids are the same exact age. We're all like really tight. And they're like, oh, you should come with us. We'll do it right this time. We know that you had a bad time. And we went, and it was amazing.
Awesome.
And through that, I became a little neurotic with, I am going to know what I'm doing, and I'm going to plan for just understanding the whole system. And that's when I discovered the wide world of Disney blogs. There are a lot.
Yeah.
And I became the person who all the friends and family were like, oh, we're going to Disney. Help me.
Yeah.
Tell me about this.
Yeah.
Until my best friend, the one that we went to Disney with, and my husband, both of them were like, you really should just start a Disney blog.
Why not?
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about starting a blog or any of that computer program, like none of that. Sure, absolutely.
Yes, you have knowledge that people want to know about. And especially you're obsessed with this. And I can see why there are so many Disney blogs, because it's really pricey to go to Disney. And when you spend, we walked around Disney the other day and I saw somebody with a t-shirt that says, Dad had this t-shirt on that says most expensive day ever.
Yes. Yep.
It's like $500 to $1,000 for that one day. So you want to do it right.
Yes. Yeah. And one of the things that I think really drove me to finally do it was, since I am, I'm a social worker, I'm a therapist by trade, and by haunting the different Facebook groups that were Disney related, I just kept seeing over and over again moms who were so stressed and overwhelmed and really losing like the joy, the fun that should be part of planning a Disney trip. And that, I think the social worker in me plus the Disney fanatic just kind of combined, and here we are.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So where do you currently live? Because you obviously have to travel to come to Orlando.
I do. I live up in Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow. So it is a big deal when you guys come to Disney.
It is. It is. We're fortunate enough that my in-laws have a vacation house in South Florida. So we've been going to Florida every year just about for the past several years. So it kind of started from that, but now we take trips specifically to go to Disney.
Definitely. All right. So how do you manage blogging and having a part-time job and having 2 kids?
Well, at first it was like, I'm a morning person. So 4 a.m. That's what I was doing was that was the time that when I was making nothing, I could kind of justify to myself, okay, everyone's asleep.
Yeah.
There's nothing else I should be doing right now other than sleeping. And, who needs that? So that's kind of when it started, either then or after the kids would go to bed, or I would kind of try to squeeze things in between. Since I do work from home for like telehealth company,
Yeah.
all sorts of backstory to that. But so I'm already home. So, like a meeting gets canceled. Okay, I squeeze it in.
Awesome.
So that's kind of how it started with trying to fit it all in. My kids are in school. So during the school year, it's easier. During summer, my productivity kind of drops down a bit.
Yeah.
But,
But then you can take those summers and just promote the content that you did create, because I can imagine for your niche, you probably get a lot of traffic over the summer.
Yeah, I think one thing that is good about a Disney niche is people are always planning a Disney trip, and people start planning months to a year, sometimes more than a year in advance.
Yeah.
So you kind of have the only truly downtime I've noticed so far was between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
I think we all get downtime then. It's like everybody's with their family, like nobody's going online. And if they are, they feel guilty about it. Like, oh, I should be hanging out with my family.
Yes.
Awesome. So how old is your blog right now?
Right. Trick question. So this is part of where my journey, I was like, don't do what I did. Yeah. I officially started May of 2018, but I did it on Weebly. And it is okay. And I can't really regret it because I basically spent like 6 months just kind of fiddling around with getting comfortable with what this is. I wrote some truly dreadful posts. And eventually I found you right away.
Oh, thank you.
When I was starting, yay Google, because you popped right up there. And so, but I was kind of in that, like, I can do this myself. I don't need to take all of these courses and all of that. And so I kind of fiddled around for a while, but it was January of 2019 was when I switched over to WordPress. So while I'm technically, I guess, coming up on 2 years old now, I really consider myself to be about a year old, because that's when I kind of got down to business and started taking it seriously.
I agree. I think a lot of us have that period where we're still dabbling and we're testing it out. And it's like, it's not officially my start date. I'm still warming up. And then like I'm doing the warm up and doing the stretching. And then when you officially are like, okay, that's official, my start date, that's when I started the race and went with my blog. All right. So how do you get traffic to your blog? Because I mean, imagine Disney is pretty popular. So what works for you?
It is quite popular. People are surprised, I think, by just how many people are actively searching for advice on Disney. Most of my traffic right now comes from Pinterest.
Okay.
Of course.
Awesome.
The Pinterest hamster wheel, which I had never even used Pinterest as a user.
Yeah.
Until actually I never used Pinterest period until about a year ago. So most of it is from Pinterest, but I have been paying a lot of attention to SEO. Good. And my organic traffic is slowly but surely creeping its way on up.
That's smart. Yeah. Start with Pinterest. And then once that's kind of picks up, then start switching to SEO. But take a couple months like you are doing and wait for your blog to get some age before you really invest in SEO. So how do you create your pins and how do you schedule or pin them?
Canva has been my recent preference. I was using PicMonkey, and I didn't like Canva at first, and I liked PicMonkey. I'm resistant to change. But it kept, I don't know if it was my computer, but PicMonkey kept being difficult at times, and I was getting frustrated. So I ended up getting some templates, pin templates. that were
Awesome.
in Canva. So I started using Canva more. And so now that's my preferred
Yeah.
place for making them. I don't know that I will ever like making pins.
Oh, most people love creating them.
I know. Like I've always been like writing posts, all of that suits me down to the ground. I've always been a writer. I love writing. I've never been like a visual art kind of person. So I agonize over them a little too much, I
Yeah.
think. That's where the problem comes in.
Oh my
I'm a little too just, is it perfect?
Yeah.
And I have to let go of that sometimes.
Oh man. I find that often my students, like they would either be great writers and hate graphic design, or they love the graphic design and they just do the writing because they need to. So what I've done before is I am not really good at writing. I don't really like it. I do it because I know it helps my blog grow. But I love creating the pin images. But then I would maybe ask a friend or a guest poster to write for me, and I would create pin images for them. And you can probably do the same thing, where maybe you have somebody else where you could swap off tasks and help each other.
Yeah, I've been kind of having someone else make my pins is definitely something I am toying with as a future, like as I feel like I'm a little more, I guess, making more and I can
Yeah.
justify it. I'm like, maybe just getting someone to help me.
Yeah, or
make
even if
pins.
you barter, like I do a lot of
Yeah.
bartering online. You write an article for her and she gives you 10 pin images, something like that. I'm all for bartering of courses and stuff online. Like you don't always have to exchange money. Sometimes you can exchange services.
True.
Oh, awesome. So talking about money, how do you actually make money? What's working for you right now?
So my income on the blog is primarily through ads. I actually just this week got my Mediavine set up, which
Yes.
was a huge goal.
That
That
is
was kind
amazing.
of the goal.
Yeah.
And it happened a little faster than I anticipated. So I was pleased with that.
Yes.
So ads, and which of course it's all dependent on traffic volume,
Mhm.
and affiliate. Right now I'm focusing on, I have some affiliate posts and you know they're okay, but I'm working on trying to make them better and looking into other affiliate opportunities to boost that end of the income equation. I've kind of discovered there aren't a lot of like products in
The
the
Disney niche.
Disney blogging
Yeah.
niche. I do have a couple of ideas of products that I'm going to try. I have no idea if they're going to be successful, but it doesn't really hurt for me to, it's just my time,
Right.
which of course is valuable, but
It's just my time, you know.
it's, you know, I want to try to
Yeah.
put together something and just see what happens.
Yeah.
But just some of the looking around that I've done, there's just not a lot product wise.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So I think just with my particular niche, it's really, it's the traffic based, you know, the more traffic you have, plus getting clicks over to affiliate stuff is really where most of it comes from, which now that I'm, you know, like a year and a half into this journey, and I'm really thinking like, oh, well, how can I make this really make a viable income? I'm like, ooh, my niche doesn't really work for that so well. But that's not going to stop me from trying.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't stress out too much. I think people get very overwhelmed with creating a product too soon. But you're
Yeah.
on Mediavine now, you're making money through affiliates. So you already have 2 income streams. So
Yeah.
I would focus on that for the next 6 months.
I am.
And then, which I know you are. And then after that, be like, okay, maybe I'm going to start asking my email list if I can create something small for them, and then go from there. But I looked at your blog and I love your opt-in that you have. The FastPass scheduler.
Oh my God, I agonized over that and
So cool.
used your
Thank you.
posts on like, seriously, you were the person I found and I have since been scouring everything. But because I had no idea, I had I'm a social worker who does therapy. I hadn't really, and I'm old enough that like PowerPoint and stuff wasn't really that big of a thing
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I was in school. So like I had no idea how to do any of it. And I that principle is the one that brings in most. I have a couple of others that, you know, a trickle comes in.
Yeah.
I have an idea for probably trying out another, which is going to tie into then the products that I'm thinking of.
Awesome.
So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, again, it's that visual art, graphic art piece that is not my strong suit.
Oh man. But you made them look so awesome. So guys, if you're watching this, I'll put a link below to the videos where I show you how to create an opt-in with PowerPoint. And I love PowerPoint. Like it's just so easy to use. And once you get the hang of it, and you can create so much. So thank you for following that. I am so thankful. Right. So you have an email list. You grow it probably mostly through your opt-ins that you have. Do you email
Yes.
them weekly, or how do you stay engaged with your email list?
I do email them weekly. It's, I guess I would describe that I've been trying to find exactly how I want the newsletter. I started off with just here are the posts that I wrote from this week, or something that's applicable
Yeah.
to, you know, Flower and Garden Festival just opened. And it's evolved recently into more of, you know, the tips, how can I help you kind of language. So it's something that I'm still playing around with.
Good.
Since I don't have any courses or products, like I'm not trying to sell
Yeah.
anything to my
But that's
audience.
okay. Like you're building so much good relationship right now that when the product does come, like they'll be like, man, she's been helping me for a year with awesome Disney tips. And that traffic from your email list that goes back to your blog can help with your ad revenue.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite thing, honestly, and it doesn't happen terribly often because I think people are shy about emailing, but every so often I'll get one of my readers who will email me a question. And, you know, then it creates I'm a therapist. I love the dialogue. I love to help people. And I just had one of my readers not too long ago email me. She's getting ready they leave next month on their trip. And we've been periodically emailing back and forth for a few months. And she was like, okay, I've read this post and I've read this post and I have my list for this and we're all ready to go. Thank you so much. And like, that to me is what, you know, I want to get. Of course, I would love to make an income from it too, but like I'm a helper by nature. So just that aspect of it has been
that's
so
going to help.
rewarding.
Yeah. Just like coming to it with that attitude of helping other people, you're going to be awesome. Like just keep doing what you're doing. And I really want you to keep us updated on how you grow with Mediavine, because I know a lot of bloggers might be interested. Like they're trying to get into Mediavine. Like how does the revenue go up? So every 6 months or so, just send me an email. Let me know the update so that I can add it to the bottom in the post. So when you first started blogging, what do you wish you didn't do? What do you think were mistakes?
It's all kind of wrapped. What I wish I didn't do and what I would advise others to do are kind of the same. I wish that I hadn't waited so long to invest in my knowledge, really is what it was. You know, it's not so much investing towards the blog, but investing towards my knowledge. Because that, like, I do think back to that, like 6-7 months where it was just, I was spinning my wheels. Again, I was learning, but it was literally as soon as I switched over to the WordPress blog and got that sorted, because that was a little bit of a mess. So I wasted weeks trying to reformat things and all of that. And that's when I started Blog by Number. And that was like absolutely the start of the progress that I've made in the past year. So that was my biggest, like, I really wish I had, because like I said, I had been following you for like 6 months at that point, but I wish that I had kind of done it a lot sooner. Cause I think, you know, I could be farther, like, you know, in my journey than
It's
I am
okay.
now. But
We all beat ourselves
things
up.
happen the way that that they should. So
Yeah, definitely. Like slow and steady progress is way more important than growing too fast or giving up. So it's that slow consistency that's not that attractive to new bloggers, but it's the answer. So
it
it's
is.
the truth.
It really is.
Yeah. All right. So, what are your future plans and how can we support you? Where can we find you? Where can we get that awesome Fast Pass printable that you have that I think is fantastic, which I'm actually going to sign up for because we live close to Disney so that we can use that and not spend all our times in queues.
By the way, I'm so jealous that you live like right
20 minutes from Disney.
Oh my gosh, that is like my real dream, is to be able to move south. I'm not a fan of snow or winter. I'm a northern girl born and bred, but I'm kind of done with it now. So my husband, oh God, it must have been back in December, we were in Florida and he was like, hey, yeah, if you can figure out with your blog how to replace my income, we can move south. I'm like, done.
I just read an article this morning that out of everybody who moved to different states last year in 2019, 1 out of every 8 or 1 out of every 6 people moved to Florida. Florida is the most popular place to move to, and then Texas.
Yeah. Like we'd love to move south, but we have to be practical.
In time, you guys will come here.
Yeah. So that comment by him actually is part of what lit the fire under me for this year. So, I've been approaching this year much more systematically, and you should see I've got like a Trello board where I have like, this month I'm going to work on this. Yes. And then this month I'm going to work on this. The products are like a few months down the road still, but it's been like, okay, well, how can I up the ante? And, I might possibly start a second blog. That's like a goal. Maybe within the next year, I might start a second one. Awesome. I don't know what about or anything. So I'll still be haunting all of your posts and everything while I figure that out.
Awesome.
But yeah, like I'm a big fan, like set goals.
Set goals, very important.
Set the big goals and then set the smaller ones that get you there. I mean, that's the social worker talking straight out.
No,
right?
That's fantastic. You should tie some of that into your blog so that people know, like, this is your angle, this is the knowledge that you have, and this is why you're helping them.
Yeah.
So I love that. So thank you so much for the interview. This has been amazing. Where can we find you, Nicole, so that we find out more about Disney and get the best tips?
Okay, so as Susie said in the beginning, I'm called The Disney Journey, so it's literally just thedisneyjourney.com. I'm under that same name on Facebook and Pinterest. I have not yet braved Instagram. That is on the Trello board goal list.
It's a card on the Trello board.
I'm hoping to get on Instagram at some point. I feel ancient all of a sudden saying like, well, I just started Pinterest. I don't really understand Instagram, but I'm working on it.
Good. Yeah, you don't have to do everything at once.
One thing, that is probably the number one tip. Don't do 10 things at once. Just pick one.
It's very easy to get overwhelmed.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, thank you so much, Nicole. I appreciate it. I'll put links below to all the resources that we discussed, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.